Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Ned's Declassified podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Kirk. This is a special little afternoon recording episode. It's the middle of the day, right as we're recording this.
Yep.
Which is a little different than usual, but we've done it before. It's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice.
And this is we're on episode 2 of season 2, and carrying on. It wasn't as laugh out loud funny as the last episode, I think, but it had a couple really good moments, I think, throughout.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Ep 1 of Season 2 is definitely stronger when it comes to laugh out loud. I think the quality is still there in this episode, but the laughing was definitely more in the last one. So I was looking up this episode a little bit right after we finished watching it, and it was directed by a guy named Savage Steve Holland. And apparently he got that nickname Savage, it says in his IMDb bio, because when he was a kid, he kicked a kid in the teeth during a soccer game. And so now I guess he just uses that as a professional name, Savage Steve Holland.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Known for directing a lot of children's television, it looks like.
And he's this violent, maybe guy, or you think it was an accident?
I don't know. It doesn't really say much beyond that. It just says that he kicked a kid in the teeth.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's like the second line in his IMDb bio.
Whoa. What a thing to have in your IMDb
yeah.
He's leaning so hard into it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so the first part of the episode was about pep rallies, which I know are a big thing in the ethos of the world or whatever, but I don't know if I've ever been to a pep rally before. And
you mean in cultural depictions of what high school is supposed to be like in real life?
Yeah.
You see pep rallies and shit.
You always see it in popular culture, but I feel like
I don't even remember any ever being advertised as such, where it says the word pep rally on the poster. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Not that I can think of. I'd probably been to something that I guess the school may have considered a pep rally, but I mean, I can't think of it off the top of my head. Just
but it wasn't called a pep
rally. I mean, if it happened, it was probably in middle school because they probably made us go to it. But in high school, I really doubt it.
Also, I don't know if the way that they depict the cheerleaders as this sort of, they're they're this force that marches throughout the school, inflicting, school spirit on people.
Yeah.
Did they do that? Is that a thing? Was that a thing?
No, I don't remember that being a thing. I mean, I remember
sometimes they'd wear the uniforms and shit.
Yeah, on Fridays they would wear their uniforms or whatever, because then the football guys would wear their jerseys,
outfits, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if it's
they were like, it's game day, dude. We got to wear our uniforms all day.
These little short skirts.
Freaking, what a weird time to be alive.
And then they were they harassed the goth kids.
Yep.
Goth kids make an appearance for the first time in this episode.
Goth kids make an appearance a few times, which is interesting because I feel like usually they would just put in the huge crew in those scenarios, but I guess the huge crew can't be intimidated.
Yeah, they would fight back.
They would for sure fight back.
They wouldn't take this shit from these fucking cheerleaders. The cheerleaders are scared of the huge crew. That's the pecking order.
And in season 1, we never saw any cheerleaders, right?
I don't think we did. No. Did we? No, Cookie joined the cheerleading team. Remember?
Oh, right. Yeah.
He tried to. Yeah, they were there.
I forgot about
that. But they weren't as prominently featured as villains as they are in this season.
Wasn't Susie a part of it then or something like that? And now
somewhat,
it's Missy.
I think Missy, who Missy now replaces Bitsy as the one-dimensional bitchy blonde girl that you love to hate.
Yeah, I think we get more character development out of Missy later on though than we did with Bitsy at all though.
Okay.
But yeah, so right in the beginning, right off the bat, we find out Ned is Wolfie. He wants to become the school mascot, or he became the school mascot because he doesn't have to go to class now.
He set his mind to it. And he succeeded.
He did. We didn't have to see any sort of tryouts or anything. They were just like, yeah, fuck it. You're the man now.
I would have liked to have seen some tryouts. I think that'd be good.
Well, if it was Cookie that had to do it, then we would have seen it because they can't get enough of showing Cookie doing some physical comedy.
Yeah, Cookie doing ridiculous things.
He's always doing it.
It's true. Loomer comes over when Ned is like saying, "Yeah, I'm Wolfie. Everybody's gonna love me because I'm the wolf. I'm gonna bring the school spirit." Blah blah blah. Loomer KOs Ned. He punches the wolf hat mask.
Yeah, he does.
He hits him right in the right spot on his chin, and he just goes down.
He fucking clocks him, which that happens multiple times in this episode. There's like a montage later on that we'll talk about that everybody's getting fucked up, especially Ned and Cook. But yeah,
do a lot of middle schools have full on furry style mascot?
See, I don't know because my middle school we were the Panthers,
and would they put a child in it?
I don't remember there being a Panther mascot. I knew we were the Panthers.
Even if there was a Panther mascot, could you wrap your mind around a middle schooler being the one that's inside of the costume?
They'd be too small to move around the suit. They wouldn't have the strength.
There's no fucking way. I
mean, in high school,
this is preposterous.
We had, what was his name? Was it just called Stormy, our mascot?
Yeah, Stormy.
Yeah. But
I assume that was a dude that we hired to do that, though.
Oh, I thought it was a student.
You think it was a student?
In high school, I think it was a student.
Might have been a student.
But the outfit wasn't as massive as like a normal mascot outfit. It was more of like a muscle suit and then a mask.
Wasn't the mask like the mask goes down your whole body though?
What do you mean?
He was shaped like a hurricane. Wasn't he shaped like a hurricane with arms and legs?
I don't think so.
Okay, I didn't go to a lot of games, so I don't really remember.
I'm pretty sure he looked like a superhero, but his face mask thing was like the hurricane symbol you'd see in like weather channels.
Oh well, that's just a shitty costume.
Yeah, it was bad. It was we didn't win a lot of games, dude.
Yeah. Apparently the person that plays Wolfie gets to cut class all day.
Yeah, which I find hard to believe, but I guess that's, I don't know if that's just on game day or if that's just this pep rally day specifically or what, but,
That's my question. Or it's every day.
Ned can't afford to miss class.
You wake up the next day, your name is removed from all the rosters and everything. They're like, you're Wolfie now.
It just says Wolfie instead of his name.
This is your life now.
You've become Wolfie.
Yeah. They kill his family. It gets crazy.
He goes to live with the wolves in order to prepare. Yeah, we get our first appearance of Super Cookie as well. Arc.
Does he reoccur?
I believe that the outfit comes back. That's why I say that. I think the outfit comes back in later episodes. His outfits always come back around. I feel like he always like he's been P Cookie like 10 times.
Doesn't he always have different tracksuits though as P Cookie?
They are usually different colored, yeah. He's
only been called P Cookie one time. I don't think they called him P Cookie the first time.
But the character itself was there the other times. He didn't
It's become more developed though. He's been working on this. He's been working on the cosplay.
Yeah, he didn't actually get the title of P Cookie until season 2, but in season 1 he had multiple occurrences where he had that like P Diddy, Missy Elliott look.
Yeah. Cookie has this idea that he's going to, at the pep rally, to raise the pep level. He's going to do this trick as this as Super Cookie, this Evel Knievel character. He's going to have this big trampoline and I guess basically shoot a basket. He's going to do a bunch of flips and shit in the air, he thinks, because he's fucking crazy.
He calls it the Slamma-Jamma.
Yeah, the Slamma-Jamma.
Which he gets approved over Missy's head by Durga.
Yeah, Missy starts spitting. She rhymes all her words, we find out.
Yeah, they even have like a little bit of a beat behind it.
Yeah, it's a little attack rhyme that she does to get Durga to say, no, we will not have the Slamma-Jamma at the pep rally. But Durga somehow thinks that it's a good idea, that no one's going to get horrifically bodily,
I think that
from this.
I think that Durga knows that the past pep rallies have been garbage. It's like an underlying thing that's been happening throughout the episode where they're like, man, that last pep rally or the last couple have been trash. So everybody's trying to step
morale's down.
Yeah, no one. Missy won't let anybody have new ideas. Apparently, she's got some sort of like authoritarian
The kids
regime.
are getting restless. They're gonna take the whole thing down if we don't let them have some bread and circus or whatever. We gotta give them some shit to
VP Martin Quirley has like
pacify
no
them.
power. He's trying to get fucking bills passed, and he can't. They won't let it happen.
It's true. He is the VP, right?
Yeah. He's the VP. I don't remember who got president. Was it Weasel?
One? The Weasel one.
So essentially, Martin Corley is the president and vice president. He had to have stepped in at some point.
Yeah, he's pulling the strings, or trying to. But there's a secret intergovernment, you know?
Yeah.
There's a deep state at the school.
There is definitely deep state. Also, when they're pulling out the trampoline to begin with, Gordy tries to jump off of it to show how powerful the springs are, and we get our first like shot of like this insane CG, like a cartoon character version of Gordy, like flipping through the air and landing outside of the school.
Yeah, he flips over himself like in the air, like 100 times very fast.
Yeah,
he hits the ground outside. He bounces on the ground outside.
Does he land on his feet like Cook does at the end?
There's no way. I think that he landed on just flat, like
just flat on his ass.
He's not young. He's not young and flexible like Cookie.
They should have just had him like splat like a cartoon, just like turn into goo outside.
That would be horrific CG.
You think that
would look like?
You think that would have been too much for Nickelodeon?
With the kind of CG that they use?
Yeah, they don't render out anything.
Mm-hmm. Moses' arc is she's the captain of the volleyball team.
Yes.
She is to give a speech at the pep rally.
Yeah, she's got to give a speech.
She's been chosen.
I guess the volleyball team is like the biggest sports team they have. Or well, actually maybe not
the basketball team.
Yeah,
basketball.
I forgot. Seth, he does a speech as well. It's just really bad. Cuz he's captain of the basketball team, I guess.
Yes, of course. Who's the girl that's from Paraguay? What is she the captain of? Did you catch that?
I think she's just on the volleyball
Softball?
team. That's what it seemed like. Maybe she's, I don't know, maybe she's on some other team. They didn't really explain it.
Okay, because Ned's tip is like get with your peers, get with the other team captains, and brainstorm some shit. That's his tip. That's really like one of the only tips of the episode, isn't it?
I have a tip at the end.
Okay, there was one tip at the end.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know who she was, but she's from Paraguay, and the only thing she could say was like yes or something. It was like yes something.
Yeah, it was a phrase. I'm trying to remember what exactly it was.
Like yes, I can or something.
I don't remember.
It was some sort of small phrase.
Well, she said it over and over again the same exact way, like a robot.
Yeah.
And why is Paraguay always the country that they go to on this show?
Yeah, I don't know. The writers have an affinity for the country.
Moses' friend from the end of last season, Elizabeth. What's the other Jennifer Mosley?
Yeah, the other Jennifer. Yeah, Jennifer 2.
The other Jennifer.
What's her name?
Jennifer 2. That's right.
T-U.
Jennifer 2. Her dad is moving to Paraguay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of if they had a country like that in Drake and Josh, but I don't think they did. They had that fake country, Udonia, which that lady came from.
The Peruvian puff pepper.
Yeah, Peru. Yeah. But yeah, so then after that, we get the montage of Ned getting fucked up in his Wolfie costume, Cook getting fucked up because he keeps tripping over his his cape that's too long, and then Mose, she's just like sad, I guess. Is that what was going on?
She's at a loss. She's trying
she doesn't know
what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hers wasn't as graphic as the other people. Oh, we also see in the background, or not in the background, but we see Martin Corley getting his booklet turned down again by Missy. She throws it in the trash of like the 101 like ideas for a pep rally or whatever.
Yeah, that was his bill.
And did something else happen to anybody else? Did anything happen to Coconut Head? I don't think so. Can't think of anything else.
He doesn't really. He doesn't do much this episode, I feel.
No, he just complains that like his chess team didn't get the honor that it needed.
That's right. Yeah, that's when they're like. That's when they have a little section at lunch with all of the nerdy kids,
Yeah.
which is Coconut Head, Quirly, Ned's there, I believe, and stuff. They're like, man, nobody gets excited about like our activities that we do at school. It's like it's not as exciting.
It's just not as exciting, exactly. I feel like those are the type of things that like, I mean, you don't really need a whole lot of audience participation, and you don't want it. It's not like at a
maybe they do.
Sporting event when you want the crowd to be loud to like mess up the other team or anything. You don't want people to be loud at a chess match. You want people to be quiet.
Oh, yes, you do.
You want them to be silent.
Yeah, that's probably true.
They
don't pull the same size crowd.
They definitely do not. Yeah. So then my next note is
multiple other people knock Ned out. He hits the floor like 3 or 4 different times throughout the episode.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He gets pretty messed up.
He's gonna have CTE.
No one has,
unless the mask is like a helmet and it protects him from the landing.
Yeah, I don't know why nobody
out.
has any respect for Wolfie.
Nobody has any respect for Wolfie.
Why does everybody think it's okay just to like treat him like a test dummy?
Because he's dehumanized because he's got the mask on, so you don't feel like it's a real person.
And he's always got that same expression of joy on his face because it's a mask.
Yeah. People hate mascots. A lot of people hate mascots, I think.
But yeah, so then the next part is at the pep rally, and Missy and company try to put on their little show. No one gives a fuck. No one likes Seth's speech either. And then Ned basically he kicks her out of the gym, right?
Yeah, he goes, go Missy, blah blah blah, go Missy, and then he walks over to her and he starts grinding his ass on her, bumping and grinding, and then he bumps and grinds her into the closet or something and locks her in the.
I think it's the hallway.
Okay, it'd be better if it was just a closet.
It would be good, yeah, but I think it's the hallway because she comes back closet. With Durga later.
Yeah, no, that's what happens, and then everybody cheers. They're like, yeah, she's gone, and then Ned does some other shit. And then Cookie comes in.
Well,
and does
first Mose has her speech, right? Mose has the speech where she's shouting at all the clubs, and everybody's loving it because she's shouting at all the nerds and shit. She shouts out goth kids for some reason during it.
They stand up, but they don't want it. They don't want the.
They don't want it, but they want it at the same time,
Yeah, of course.
Also, I think it's the only one that's not like a club or a team. Was the goth kids?
No, it's just a little weird niche group of people. Connected around their love of chains
and darkness,
black clothing.
Yeah,
darkness in general. The dark side.
Yeah, and then after that is when Super Cookie tries to do his stunt.
He insists on wearing the cape though. Trips over the cape, hits the trampoline at I guess the wrong angle, and then he blasts over and like Gordy, 360-degree spins a bunch of times, but he goes right. He lands right on Missy, though.
Yeah, he does.
This is when Missy has opened the door, I guess. She's just
yeah, it's right when she came back.
Yeah, so she's standing in the door frame. That's where Cook is headed.
And she gets crushed alive by CG Cook. Which we see she ends up in a neck brace and shit.
Yeah, she may or may not be temporized. She may or may not be paralyzed temporarily or permanently. We do not know.
Yeah. But yeah, so the tips at the end is make sure you include everyone. You should give out, that's including teachers and stuff. And then give out awards for different reasons. And then also try to get a local business to sponsor a half-court prize.
That's right. Coconut Head makes a fucking half-court shot.
He does, yeah.
You think he really did that in real life?
I mean, the court didn't look that big, so maybe. No. It didn't look like a full regulation court.
It's a junior court?
It's some sort of junior, child court, I guess. I mean, it makes sense. They're in middle school, so. But that's that episode. What are you thinking about rating that one?
I'm torn because I gave the last couple ones very high ratings,
Yeah.
I would say. I'm gonna say a strong 7.5.
Right on. Nice.
You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I'd probably give it 7 out of 10 weasels. 7 out of 10, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think I gave the last one's like an 8 or something. So yeah, I think it's a little bit under.
They were both in the 8s for me too.
Yeah, and then on to the next episode entitled Lunch.
Lunch. Real rich, a rich topic for an episode.
There's a lot of stuff that happens at lunch, and really they didn't even cover everything. This is really more centric on like food sharing and stuff.
Yeah, and it
should have been titled food sharing.
It goes, it takes a bizarre. It is bizarre the way it handles lunch.
It's a weird take on lunch for sure. Because this experience is not how I experienced lunch at all. But who knows?
In multiple ways, and we'll get into those different things. One of the first things is Ned shows up. He's got this badass sandwich, right? He takes lunch. He brings a lunch. It's not even a school lunch.
Yeah.
This is a brown bag.
And everybody's like standing around him. They're all like, oh man, that's a fucking badass sandwich. That thing's a straight up Dagwood, homie.
It's got like roast beef and turkey and ham. Lots of ham. He says ham like 16 times.
Multiple layers of tomatoes.
It's got half-inch slices of tomatoes on the sandwich.
But like 3 different layers of them.
Yeah. It didn't look good.
It had
everybody's hype about it.
Full leaves of lettuce, non-shredded.
I'm like, this is a beginner try-hard sandwich.
It is. It was too much, and you could tell where the errors were,
Yeah.
Like, I've made a lot of sandwiches in my lifetime, and I like to believe I'm pretty good at it. I think that one was a little bit much.
Yeah, but his friends are impressed with it.
Well, you got to be impressed by the magnitude.
Yeah, and this kid, and I will say, this kid is even in the friend group. They're like, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this little Asian kid showing up?
This kid that no one's ever seen.
Yeah, because he used to have the other lunch. Now he's in their lunch period, and he's like trying to integrate himself with everybody because he's this.
Yeah,
he's this lone shark creature that just feeds. We
do see him. He's predatory like a shark and everything.
He's parasitic and predatory at the same time.
He is. But he takes a big ass bite out of Ned's sandwich. Yeah, we do end up finding out that his name is One Bite, or at least that's what he's known as.
Yeah, they call him One Bite. He's the scourge of the lunchroom and the villain of the episode, I'll say.
Yeah, he definitely is. And after Ned gets played by One Bite, Ned says a couple of things about lunch. He's like, sometimes school lunches suck or whatever. I'm paraphrasing. And you can check the menu online, I guess. I don't know who did that. I didn't ever do that.
That'd be hardcore. Yeah, he mentions also some people that bring their lunch, I think, because this kid brings kumquat stew.
He says you can trade your lunch.
I don't know how you'd make a kumquat stew.
I don't know. I'm not huge on stews, I
like stews.
I mean, I like them, but I've never made any stews. I think you've ventured more into that than I have.
Kumquat's citrus. How are you going to make a citrus stew?
I'm not sure.
Kumquats are citrus fruit, right?
I have no idea. I don't really know what a kumquat is. I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever had one. It's a great word.
It sounds like a word that they would say a lot on Drake and Josh.
Oh,
too.
yeah, for sure. They probably did say it on Drake and Josh. Yeah, during the trade your lunch part, they show Martin Corley being like an auctioneer, auctioning off different lunches and stuff. But also, it's a little bit like the stock market because they show like a ticker tape behind him.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good flash sequence. Yeah. The lunch lady obviously makes an appearance. How could she not in this episode?
Yeah.
She's like, the beans is loud today. And one kid, I guess, finds out he's going to go to Yale in like 6 or whatever years, I guess.
Yeah, wow. She finds money in the one. She's like, there's money in your future, and there's a freaking quarter in it.
You're going to come into some money today, it says, or something soon. And then she finds a penny in the beans. Food hazard.
Yeah, that is
situation.
Actually fucked.
Hard.
And I forget what the phrasing that she says for cook, but cooks is the biggest thing that comes out of the beans. It's like you're going to be like mashed, squashed, and like black-eyed
Boiled.
and something else.
Black-eyed. You're going to be boiled and mashed and smashed and flash fried.
Flash fried.
That's a bunch of food terms. Which pretty much is what it ends up being, but we'll get there. We find out Lisa's in the lunch program.
Yes.
Now, what is the lunch program, you might ask? Well, the lunch program is where the kids, I guess, work through the lunch shift, helping the lunch lady, and in turn for their labor, their child labor, they get free lunch.
They do. So, yeah, we get a little bit more details later on in the episode when Susie is talking about it, and she says that the max they can work is 20 minutes a day, 3 days a week. So 20 minutes probably isn't the full lunch, but that is leaving a very small amount of time left to eat lunch.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm like torn. I'm like, do I have a problem with that? Does that seem right or wrong? You know?
Yeah. I just don't know the amount that you're really going to get out of the kid as help at that age. That is like...
For 20 minutes?
Yeah,
20 minutes of help?
Because like a lot of the time is going to have to be spent like telling them, you know, what they're going to have to be doing and shit like that. It's like, it seems like it's unnecessary. They should just do it how it happens in real life, at least in the state of Florida, where you just like turn in a paper that says like how much your family makes, and depending on where that mark is at, you can get free lunch.
People would think, you'd think that would be like how it would be in California there, where the show is supposed to take place. But
you definitely would think
that. In this universe. And then if someone was going to make a joke about Florida, they'd be like, oh, they make the kids work for their fucking free lunch in Florida, you know, but whatever.
Yeah. This was back during the time when Arnie would have been governor of California. Is this that time? The children will work like I worked. He ran as a Republican, right, though? Didn't he?
I think that's right.
I think he was. I think they had a Republican governor for a little bit. So maybe it was during the time. Maybe they were cutting back a little bit.
Yeah, but he's a Germanic.
Austrian.
Yeah, Austrian. Austria hasn't been a country for that long, though, right?
Well, it was Austria-Hungary before. It was the Austrian-Hungary Empire, or whatever the fuck it was.
But yeah, Lisa's revealing this, and then she makes her way over to the, I guess what you'd say, the popular girls' lunch table. Yeah. Because it's Susie, Missy, and company. I don't know who else was at the table. They really only showed them two. I would imagine Bitsy would have been there if she was around.
I think Bitsy
we don't know.
She got canceled. I don't know where the fuck she's at, dude. She must have transferred schools.
She transferred schools. Yeah.
Maybe she ended up going to that school that they wanted Billy to go to with the shrimp.
She moved to Idaho or Nebraska, wherever the frick they wanted to send him. It was some other state.
It was a landlocked state. It was
somewhere in the heartland. Think of it
now, and so
somewhere in the heartland.
You wouldn't think they'd have shrimp. They wouldn't be giving it away that like willy nilly, you know.
Well, that shrimp is not good shrimp. That's frozen shrimp that's been flown in. And it's just freezer burned, thawed out,
tasteless, chewy.
It's been thawed out and refrozen because they didn't eat it.
Yeah, at least 100 times thawed out and refrozen.
And it's already cooked. Like, it's always been pre-cooked this whole time. It's like a cocktail shrimp, because that's what they were talking about. They were shrimp cocktails.
That's true.
They're like, oh, you're like a peasant. You're like fucking a slave to me, you Lisa.
Yeah, Missy's super mean to her. And she's Lisa's a trooper throughout the app. She's chilling. She's like, listen, fuck, what do you want me to do?
Exactly. Yeah, but I was saying, like, that's the reason why this couldn't be a real program, because obviously that would happen.
Kids would get bullied for sure. Yeah, kids are mean. Yeah. You know.
And it's like, well, also the uniform or whatever you want to call it of being the lunch person. Like, you have the fucking hairnet, you got the gloves. It's not a good look.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, definitely.
As a child, especially.
Especially now, you know, it's not like when you work at like Chipotle or something. They give you a dope visor and a black tee. You know, you're not. Yeah, chilling.
And you also have 2 full sleeves of tattoos. You have to.
And
if you don't have
like
that,
maybe
they won't
like
let you work
gauges,
at Chipotle,
possibly. It's a clean look, you know.
Oh yeah, I've no problem with it. But one of Cookie's things, he gets he's paranoid the whole episode ever since he gets his prediction read to him, right?
Yeah.
He's
incredibly paranoid because they talk about how accurate basically in the past her predictions have been, even when they're incredibly outlandish. Like the most outlandish one they mention is when she said that Ned would be hit by an ape man swinging by a vine and he would get cheese puffs everywhere, and then they cut to Seth doing that to Ned. It's like, what the fuck?
You'd think... Well, you'd think if it was that same day and Ned finds himself in a position where he's like, oh, look, a bunch of cheese puffs, like a whole bowl, like a huge bowl of cheese puffs. It was a massive
bowl, yeah.
And the lunch lady said to me this morning that I'm going to spill a bunch of cheese puffs today. You'd think he wouldn't go for it, but maybe he was trying to test the fucking waters.
I think he was trying to test it, and also if he's trying to get away, if he's trying to like get around the prediction at that point, I think that's going to cause a rift in the universe, and he knew he just had to let it happen.
Well, that's when he was like, some magic's real.
Exactly. But yeah, so
even though he's playing, I feel like the skeptic to foil Cookie's paranoid delusions.
Well, they're skeptical, but I think that they're skeptical because like they're like, Cook, listen, it could mean anything. All right, it's not necessarily going to mean, black and white what it is of like you getting destroyed.
Certain death to you. Okay. Yeah.
But Cook doesn't give a fuck. He shows up in a suit of armor.
They're just trying to make Cook feel better.
They are, yeah. But he's wearing a dope suit of armor, medieval style. Although he did not have any chainmail on under the suit. It was just like a...
Can you identify...
It was just like a gray
kind
hoodie.
Of country... What, like, country armor that is based on? Is it, like, Italian armor?
I have no idea.
British?
Okay. I have no idea. Maybe an armor expert out there would know. I feel like Jess would probably have some sort of guess.
You see the pointy nose and the tall head.
That made me think British, but...
See, I think Italian.
You're thinking Italian. Okay.
But I've only seen... I've been to a couple museums in my life, and, sometimes you go to the cool armor museum, the armor exhibit, where they have all the different... suits of armor.
I feel like the issue always with those types of places is that they have different time periods and different countries just mixed all in together, and they're like, just look at all this armor.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think back to all the armor because they had a shitload of armor at the Tower of London, but most of the armor were like gifts to the royal family, so I don't know where the fuck all that armor was from.
Yeah, they should be clearly marked.
They probably were, but I mean, I wasn't reading all the plaques. We were cruising. We had a lot of things to see.
Okay. Yeah. Throughout the episode, Susie is avoiding Mose.
Yes. Yeah. Mose keeps trying to have lunch with her, and Susie's like,
lunch
ooh.
and heart-to-heart conversation.
She's like, I freaking can't. Sorry. Like every single time she has like a different excuse.
Yeah, and Mose is like, what's going on over here?
Yeah.
Something's afoot. Taco Day comes up.
Yes. This is where we see
Cook
get run the fuck over.
I feel like even better than tacos as a school lunch was a taco salad.
You think so? I don't know if I ever had a taco salad at lunch.
Maybe
I like taco salads, but I don't know if I've ever had one at like a cafeteria lunch.
No, it was a thing. I've had it before.
Did it come in one of those big like shell bowls?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh yeah.
So you got your money's worth that day.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, and it had some ground beef in there.
Did you get any of those like little packets of hot sauce?
I don't know if they had those. I don't know if I would have used those either.
So you're telling me it was bland?
It's hard to say. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't used to eat a lot of spicy stuff.
Oh, you gotta eat spice, dude.
Well, sure. But the tacos that they eat in this show do not look very good.
No, they looked almost empty, and they looked very soggy on the bottom.
Yeah. Soggy, like...
They were hard shell tortillas, we should say.
It was like hard shell tortillas that had gotten soggy, but not to the point where they're falling apart. They're just kind of like ruined, basically.
Yeah, they had clearly been sitting out too long, which is just a shame. It's hard to see a taco go to waste.
Yeah, but either way, there's a stampede for the tacos. A full-on stampede. It's like the Lion King.
Yeah.
Everybody's going down through the halls.
Yeah.
They trample Cook in the suit of armor.
Yeah, when he goes down, it cuts to the next shot, and it's like just like a dummy in the suit getting kicked around and stuff.
Yeah, the suit is just moving in ways that it's clear that there's nothing in it.
Yeah, it's so lifeless.
Or he's in it, and he's just so destroyed right now that he's just completely unresistant to. He's just like ready to die.
Even though really they didn't see him get destroyed that bad. Like I feel like we've seen worse things happen to Cook because he got kicked a couple of times, but it could have been way worse.
I mean, he got blasted out of the school last episode.
He did.
Flipped it through the air, slammed on the concrete, bounced off the concrete, did a flip, and landed on his feet.
Yeah, landed on his feet, and he just had like those stars around his head. He was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
And the next lesson that we learn is that fast eating is bad because they try to eat all their food too fast because one bite is fucking approaching.
Before that, there's a tip. Ned says, if you know, blah, 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 if it's taco day, if everybody wants to eat the food, you buy lunch for your friends early. You get there early, you buy lunch for everybody. Which...
That never happened.
I guess you can do, but that never happened.
That never happened, dude. If someone happens to be late, man, you're going to see that person for 5 minutes of lunch because they've been waiting in line all day. You know?
Or they're going to, like, eat something, like they just get something that they don't want to eat.
Yeah, you go through the snack line. You get, like, a bag of fucking goldfish, and you're like, all right, I guess this this is my lunch now.
You get some hot fries.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he gets into the eat fast because one bite starts prowling.
Doesn't somebody have a spyglass, too?
Yeah, Coconut Head whips out a spyglass. He's like, what's that over there? And one bite you see, he's like, I guess he's on a skateboard or something. He's sliding around.
Yeah, maybe he was on like a ripstick.
A ripstick, a skateboard, some sort of film, conveyor thing, rig.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever you call it.
In reality, it was probably one of those things that go on the track, right?
Yeah,
whatever that's called.
a track thing. He was trucking. They were trucking him.
Yeah.
Everybody gets sick after eating the tacos fast.
Yes.
So they all go to the nurse's office. The nurse is like, you shouldn't eat those tacos so fast. You're lucky they weren't too spicy. If they were spicier, you would have fucking died, dude. You'd be done.
Yeah.
You'd be in the throes of death. And they're like, oh, that's a good idea.
They're like, man, that's true. Shit.
Yeah, so then they're like, okay, we can poison one bite with spiciness, and so they come up with the plot to get the hot sauce.
Yeah, to poison him
and shit.
And Gordy just goes right along with it. He's down. He's like, all right, I'll show you these cabinets.
He's like, you gotta add the extreme habanero
the entire
hot sauce
school's supply of hot sauce or anything hot.
Bread.
They had all sorts of different things in there. I think they put wasabi on it. They put chili powder. I know they put regular hot sauce on it. I'm trying to think. I don't know what else they mentioned that they put on it, but
the most important element is the extreme habanero hot sauce.
Yes. Which they probably could have gotten a hotter pepper. I mean, habanero is hot, but
yeah,
they didn't put ghost pepper on where the kid would be like in fucking
ghost pepper,
physical pain.
Black scorpion chili or whatever.
Yeah.
Mose offers a sandwich to Susie in a heart-to-heart solidarity conversation, where we realize that I guess Susie's from a impoverished situation.
I guess so. Something's going on with her family, and she's supposed to be working
at least as much as Lisa is.
Yeah, she's supposed to be working at the program with Lisa. And Moses is like, listen, I did it in elementary school. It's all good. I'm sure, it'll be fine. Everybody will appreciate if you stand up there too, my dude.
Yeah, so she convinces her to stand up for her truth and be the lunch assistant creature that she is, along with Lisa. So they're cooking. Yeah, they're cooking. What is that? They're like hyping up some sort of chemical or something, right? They're like, you can't handle this, blah blah blah, and they're like, can you handle this? And Lisa's like, I can handle this, and then that's when Susie comes up and she's like, I can too.
Well, they're talking about the hose.
Oh, it's just the hose.
Yeah. It's just the hose because she says that the lunch lady says that the hose is also used to put out fires in high rises.
Okay, it's like a fire hose.
Yeah, I mean it's clearly not, but it is a hose that has an incredible amount of length. You can see them bring it out into the lunchroom itself at the end of the episode.
Yeah, well, there you go, because that's what they use a couple times now. They use it like multiple times from that point to the end of the episode
Yeah.
on different people. This is where is this before they give one bite the sandwich? That's when Missy shows up and is like, Susie, why are you in vagrant clothes right now?
Yeah, she was trying to basically make fun of Lisa again, but then Susie turns around and reveals herself. Because
she's very malicious.
Yeah, and they use this opportunity to blast her with the hose.
Missy gets completely soaked with water.
Yes, she does.
I mean, her day's ruined.
Yeah, the day is fucked. I mean, they bullied her. Because, well, I mean, the show shows a lot of the time that you have to bully the bullies, especially when it comes to Missy, apparently.
Yeah, that is the method that it always comes down to, almost. With the girl bullies, especially.
Yeah.
Bitsy and Missy both get public humiliation as punishment for their
they do.
wrongdoings. I guess that's justice in a sense.
In the Nedverse, it is.
In the hardcore universe of Neds.
Yeah.
But Ned pulls out the sandwich that has been rigged with the poison hot sauce.
Yeah, he puts on that super sauce at the last second, right before One Bite is about to make his approach.
To keep it fresh and to preserve the crispiness of the bread. He wants it to be a good experience for him up until he notices the spice.
Of course.
Like So One Bite comes over. He's like, "Ooh, look at that sandwich!" And Ned's like, "Take a bite. Take two. Have the whole thing."
Yeah.
Takes the bite. We get smoke out the ears. Classic. He breathes fire.
Yeah, he says he's never gonna take one bite again.
Of anything ever again.
Yeah.
He says, like, "I'm never going to take one bite of anything ever again," like real fast, and he runs off.
Yeah, he does. We also get the moment after...
And everybody cheers.
Yeah, everybody's pumped that he just got his mouth absolutely destroyed.
It was crazy.
And then we get Cook's realization of all the things that Lunch Lady said was actually just about food that was offered up by the crew to share with them.
Yeah, it was like mashed potatoes and roasted beans and like crushed peas and shit.
Black-eyed peas or some shit. Black beans.
Yeah. Black-eyed peas.
Yep,
so he's like, "Oh, I don't need to worry about nothing no more." And then he takes a bite of some rice and peas or whatever. And she's like, "You're not going to like those whatever peas and shit." And he eats them. And he's like, "Why?" She's like, "You spilt that hot habanero hot sauce on them peas there."
Yeah.
And then he also has smoke come out of his ears and he blows fire.
Yeah, we see
he
him
runs off and then
go volcanic.
Yeah. That's where they break the hose out again and they start Susie and Lisa start blasting Cookie with the hose.
Yeah. And I think the last tip that we get is to, if you don't have any food, try to make an impromptu potluck with your friends, which is like that.
Yeah, but what if you got nothing to offer up? Then you're just a fucking asshole.
Then you can't be a part.
What if everybody?
You can't be a part of the potluck, so it doesn't solve the situation. So I don't know what he's talking about.
What if everybody gives me like a little bit of their food? Like I'll just take one bite of everyone's food, and then you become One Bite.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
how that happens.
And then we're full circle.
You gotta fend for yourself, man. If you you gotta work a shift that day. Like
you do. Work one quick shift.
That's the moral of the story. Yeah. 20 minutes, you get lunch. You get to blast someone with a hose, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this situation would make more sense as like an ad hoc basis instead of like the full program. You're like, oh, just, this one-off day I had to work because I didn't have any food. I mean, even then it's still weird. Even then it's still weird.
That's weirder. How do I rate this one?
Yeah.
How do you think you're going to rate this?
I think I'm going to rate it a little bit lower than the last one. I think I'm going to go for a 6.75.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right around where probably I would put it. I mean, I'll go 6.5 on this one. I think it was
Yeah.
It was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't as good as the last one.
Yeah, definitely.
It wasn't anywhere near as good as episode 1 of season 2.
No, episode 1 was classic. Episode 1 right now is of season 2 is still holding the standard that we want to get back to. It's been the best episode so far of both seasons.
Of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got any final notes or anything?
No, I don't think so. We're on a new schedule here at the Harbor Boys, I guess, so this is coming out bi-weekly.
Yep.
Alternatively with Show Me Something, which I still haven't been on.
Yes, soon, hopefully, we will be getting more guests on, because I know Abby soon wants to be on one of the episodes, so that'd be good to get your episode in as well. I think the schedule for both of these podcasts will be changing soon, depending on Abby's schedule, because her schedule is about to change at work, so we'll see what happens with that. It'll probably just be a different day during the week, but yeah, thanks for listening to the podcast, guys, and go watch some Ned's Declassified.
Hit up Devin Works Harder. Hit up Lindsay Shaw. Hit up Daniel Curtis Lee. And watch some Neds.
Fuck yeah.